Alrighty. This is continuing from the last one while it's uploading. Hopefully everything's going to work out fine. So, yeah. Thinking in terms of different personalities was a very productive thinking session. It was very enlightening. Very enlightening. Um, and it was so useful in terms of like just sorting out my thoughts to where they belong. Like all these thoughts just get jumbled and jumbled and jumbled, and then just sort of putting my eye at rest, like resting my eye and just resting into the daydream, and that allowed like my brain, I don't know, allowed my brain to sort them, or it allowed these personalities to come up and to claim these thoughts, these words that are just, sort of like it's like they've all just thrown all of what they have to say at the eye, at me, and I'm just like, the eye just can't handle it. It's sort of like I don't know where to go, don't know whatever. So relaxing my eye, and it allowed these personalities to come forth and go, see all of this? This is mine. This is what I have to say. And that was so useful. Yeah, I wanna a list, but I want to sort of create a council, right? A mental tool, a place in my mind, a round table, um, and a place to hear these personalities out and to listen to them. So the idea of getting in touch with my dreams and the experience of giving these personalities a voice, I think this is what opened up the way, or this is what led to that dream I had that I mentioned. So, start with the dream. So I'm asleep, I'm dreaming. It's not clear about, I think at some points I felt that it was a dream, at other points I didn't know. Other points, like the observer part of me. So I think just a little bit of a clarification here. I'm going to be talking about the observer, and that's like when you watch TV. Me here, I'm watching TV. I'm the observer, and say you're watching it, and the and maybe you're playing a game, right? And you got the little dude who's running around on the screen. He's the experiencer. He's experiencing firsthand. And then you're on the couch. You're the observer. You're just observing. You're observing, and he's experiencing. So you're both seeing the same thing, but the observer is detached from the experience. So in my dream, at times I experienced from both points of view simultaneously, as the observer and as the experiencer. And other times only only the observer, and other times only the experiencer. All right. So from what I remember, I start off the dream full driving. It's a bit rocky, it's a bit deserted area. Reminded me of Land Cruiser Park. And came up across a rise. I have the sense that Jordan was and about with me somewhere. All right, he wasn't in the car with me, but he was in, I guess, in his own car. I had the sense that my brother Jordan was with me on the trip. And I came across a deserted town, which even in the dream was sort of odd. Like, what's a town doing here? That's interesting and odd. And I wish I knew the terms, if there are terms. Like the term for when you're in one, like I'm driving in my car, and then next second or the next scene, or whatever, I'm in front of not in my car, but I'm just as a person, outside a building. I think there was a fence, chain link fence around it. I'm not quite sure, but it had like that sort of deserted sort of feel. There's a big sign, sort of like one of those church signs or school signs. It had some words on it, and I think they were a little bit jumbled up. And if I could remember the dream a bit better, I could probably work out what the words was actually said. I can't really remember the sign too well. All I remember the sign, the big green letters, and if I had to guess, I'd say it was a church. Brick. And I sort of looked down the street towards the more commercial part of the town. Seems a bit deserted. I got the feeling there was some presence, like population presence down there. Nothing big, but I felt a presence down there. So I think I head that direction. And then the next scene, I'm at a house, not in a place that's not in the direction of the thing. I don't know how I got to the house, but the house was it's like in the town, but it wasn't towards a commercial area or whatever. I don't know if these things are important, but it was a different place. And I'm going in the front door, and the house kind of reminded me of semi like Kayla's house, Tessa's friend, and semi like a house that my dad's mate Mark had a long time ago, when he had like the 2 stepdaughters as well as his 2 daughters. Anyway, so I'm in the house, and I go into the door, turn to the left, go up that way, and then that sort of reveals the kitchen area. And in the kitchen is a woman who, or if she didn't look so just weird out of it, she would have been attractive, I think. And I know she spoke and said some things, but I don't know what she said, but I do know that they were like nonsensical. Alright. Like a person, they're speaking to you, but they're just not making any sense. And she had a look. I can't quite remember, but I know she had a look that was. It's not this, but like this. When someone's like just they're not there, and you imagine like their eyes going different directions, and they're just like they're not home. Someone's not home. She's talking, and it's not making sense. She had been washing the dishes, and I think that's what it drew me to the house. I could hear like the clinking of plates or whatever. I could hear something, and I came to the house. And then, as far as I can remember, the next scene, I think we're in the bedroom, but not with a bed. I'm not quite sure. Could have been the side room or something like that, like the office or whatever it is. And I haven't really been speaking too much about the fact that at some points it's the observer, at some points it's the the experiencer. But this is where that sort of ties comes into play, and that's where so the experiencer and the observer can both sense that something's not right with this woman. And at the time that the experiencer is only experiencing that sense, the observer has this idea, this feeling, or this knowledge. Right? The observer knew this is not a woman. This was a man. Not in the sense that like a tranny or anything like that, but like in Thor, where Loki can transform himself, cast an illusion, and it's a man. So anyway, back to where we were. We were in like the bedroom or study or something like that, and this man, is on her knees, on all fours, and just pulled her pants down. We're offering or whatever. It's just she's there, and the experiencer is I'm about to put my dick in it. All right, and the observer can clearly see this is a man. Even though like her underpants is sort of like down, where it's sort of like doesn't really show the exact anatomy. All right, but the observer can tell. Like you can tell, you can see it. Those underpants aren't covering nothing, buddy. But the experiencer doesn't. The experiencer didn't experience that. Didn't know. Didn't understand. Didn't see it. So I'm fucking this chick in the ass, and I don't do it for too long, because pretty soon it's like the whole scene, or like the woman there, it's like the illusion disappears, and it's like if the man got up and the illusion of the woman fell away, and next minute the man has got up, he's at the doorway. All right, and the experiencer is just sort of confused. What happened? And the observer sort of, it didn't really surprise the observer that much. It was sort of like, yeah, well, I could see you're a man, and here you are, your illusion's fallen away, and he was like, funny thing I should say, it's sort of like Loki, because I've been saying in my voice recordings that this guy was like this Cypher character from The Matrix, with sort of like Bill Burr, that kind of attitude, but I guess a little bit of Loki mixed in as well, like this, hence the illusion. But this just might be from thinking about it. Maybe that's where I'm getting this from. But and I keep saying cynical, but this guy's personality was, kind of like almost cynical, a little bit like, you don't fool me. I'm a guy that I don't get fooled. I see through the shit that nobody else seems to see through. I fucking, that Cypher, or that person that's always sort of like, how come nobody's fucking talking about the elephant in the room, huh? And it's almost like they'll like poke at other people and say, hey, why don't you? Oh, so we're all ignoring the elephant, this big ass elephant in the room, are we? Don't worry, I'll point it out. I will point it out. All right, and everyone's trying to say, no, there's no elephant in the room, and trying to pull the wool. And this guy's like, you're not pulling the wool over my eyes, mate. It's fucking there. I see it, and for all you people that do see it and are trying to ignore it, I won't let you. And for all you people that don't see it, you're a bunch of idiots. All right? I won't be fooled. That's the kind of attitude that this guy sort of has. A bit of a, not aggressive. Like it's like aggressive. Like Patrice O'Neal's a very aggressive, big fat guy, but he's not physically aggressive, but he's verbally aggressive. And this guy's got a bit of aggression and very smart, perceptive, cunning, kind of like, yeah. I mean, this guy's just tricked the experiencer by pretending to be a woman, right, offering sex, and basically doing the old switcheroo. Because, and I haven't got, I've just been explaining his personality or his character, that's been apparent, that I've seen. So a lot of, it's a funny thing about dreams. It's sometimes it's not what you experience or you see. It's something that you suddenly it's sort of like, yeah, this is the guy I saw. He kind of looked like Bill Burr which is interesting because I watch a lot of Bill Burr and he's kind of like this. Like he'll point out that shit that nobody wants to say, but you're all thinking it. All right, and he'll point it out. You got to have balls to do that. And he does it in a way that you can't shut him up. You can't tell him you can't say that. He'll do it, and you'll appreciate him for it, even though you recognize this guy's an asshole. Right? So I don't know if I had to call him anything. All right, this personality, this guy, I would call him the useful asshole. All right, or the noble asshole. The noble prick. I like that. I think he might become part of my council. Anyway, so this guy appears, the woman disappears, the illusion falls away, and simultaneously, the experiencer is now trapped in the house physically by the next sort of action, which was like, that's the next thing. First thing was sort of like, it's like the illusion enveloped the experiencer, and now the experiencer is looks like the woman, which the observer didn't so much see but knew. It's like one of those things where everyone who already has seen this person, they see them as them. It's something the movies do in shows and things like that. But for anyone who knew who to come in and to see the experience, it would have looked like this woman. Anyway, so now the experiencer is trapped within this illusion of being this woman, and then also trapped in the house in that my trusty belt that I wear to work every day. This has snaked its way over to the experiencer's leg, wrapped around, and just gripped on. And it's like, you're not going anywhere, buddy. And the noble prick at the doorway, he's feeling pretty. He's coming across as pretty, happy with himself, and a little bit gloaty, like I'm free, you're trapped, okay. And I know he was saying something, but I don't know. Again, I don't know what. Funny thing about dreams, like this dreams. I think some dreams, I don't know what people have said, or it's one of those things that you don't hear them say it, but you know what they just said. Anyway, so I don't know what this guy said. I know he sort of said something, and he said something that I do know. Once the experiencer is thinking of making some noise with the plates again, like to try to get out, to free himself. Then he gets a Nico, and he's trying to draw on the walls to explain to his brother, who now isn't Jordan but is Dean from Supernatural. This guy's, my brother's going to come and save me. And so he's writing on the walls trying to explain, hey, I'm not this woman, I'm your brother. help me out, save me. And he's drawn a bit of a little mud map, some symbols, sort of some sort of explanation, and then and the house. It's like the house as an entity is erasing whatever's been written. So I think that's the end of the dream. I think that's about it. And I've been thinking about it a lot today. And if I had to analyze this, this is something I want to go to Juliana about. I mean, I don't really know what to go to her about anymore. I'm sort of fixing things up, I guess, by myself. So I'll probably, if by the time our next interview session comes along, I'll probably just leave it, running this dream past her if it still feels relevant, and leave it at that and just part ways, I guess, and until I ever have to need you again, maybe. Anyway, so been analysing it today a bit, thinking about it, and it does feel like a sub-personality has been given release. Yeah, not even given, has taken release. That's what I find interesting. I think it seems like the narrative of the dream is telling me that the experiencer, that part of me, that personality, whatever it was, and I have some ideas about that, had to be I guess imprisoned, had to be controlled for this other personality to this other sub personality to come out. That's what I've been thinking of. Integrating the shadow feels like this house is where the shadows, or a part of the shadow, has been, and maybe this noble prick has been someone that I've been not listening to and denying and keeping trapped in this house. And one of the other things I've been looking at doing is integrating the shadow. And I've been wondering, how do I integrate the shadow? And I don't know, maybe my brain is like, got you, buddy. All right. I was going, I'll show you how you integrate the shadow. All right. And first step, let's get rid of this weak ass motherfucker. Because this weak ass motherfucker, naively and blasé, in a blasé manner, stumbling around an abandoned ass fucking town, stumbles into a house, sees a fucking suspect as fuck ass woman, right? Soon as she presents herself for a fucking, he's like, yeah, sure, let's go for it, whatever. Or not even whatever, but not even thinking, not even purposefully, let's have sex. It was just sort of it's there, I have a dick, okay, just not even thinking. Maybe it's just the part of you that thinks with your dick. I don't know, or that blasé and naive sub-personality, the weakness in me. Alright? Not even the child. It's the non-thinker. Alright? The blind man. And this guy had to be fucking... Because this motherfucker's been walking around in my shoes for damn near my whole fucking life. And I've recognized that. I recognize being oblivious as a child. Blasé. Naive. Right? On the many things. And the narrative of the story of the dream, seems to be telling me that in order for this noble prick to come out and do his job, right, which I feel like is one of those things where here to do a job, buddy, but don't get too big for your boots. But if I try to control him too much, I mean, you can't shackle him, otherwise he's not going to be able to do his job. Let's go back to the show. Whatever. So, just maybe something to keep an eye on. Somebody's got to police the police. Somebody's got to just keep an eye on it. Who knows? But this guy, this noble prick, had to be freed. Right? And I don't think it could be. They can't both be free at the same time. Right? You can't be an oblivious, blasé idiot stumbling around while at the same time being a fucking cunning, sharp, semi-aggressive, right? What else would you say? Not manipulator. It's sort of like cunning, aggressive, sharp as a fucking tack, right? Observant, right? And I think there's a bit of charisma in there as well. You know, that's what's needed to bring it off. It's not like this, not like a brutish oaf. This is the Loki. I think this is the Loki of personalities. Right? Maybe not a big strong Thor, right? But he's got his kind of courage. He's got his courage, or his own strength. Right? It's like Loki without, so hopefully without the mischief part, you know. And this guy's job is basically, feels like they're making up a story as I go. And it seems like this guy's job would be like Horus. Alright? Eternal attention. And it's like, hey, alright? You don't get to be blind anymore. I will show you this, and I will pay attention to that, and I will not let you look away from it. It's like, that's what it is, right? Don't fucking ignore that. What the fuck are you doing? You know what you should be doing. Do it. All right? Might be a bit of a prick about it. All right, but he has his purpose. I'm sure he'll piss off a lot of other sub-personalities, but hey, they all have their job. So that's my idea. That's my analysis. And then the only question left is, what happens to that idiot if you leave him down as the shadow? Is this idiot going to manifest himself out in other ways? This blind idiot. Trade one evil for another. Anyway, so that was my dream. Very interesting. Very vivid. Powerful. I look forward to more, I think. Hopefully I don't regret saying that. Interesting stuff, self-development. Anyway, that'll do me.